So all this is basically just granular synthesis. This is sort of what I'm going to be covering, is how to make these choppy leads. So that sort of like makes up the basis of the drop, and then obviously I've added layers like here, and like this one as well. So this is literally all just like from granular synthesis. So pretty much this is what the original sound that we'll be chopping up into grains sounds like. So it's just like a really compressed OTT, yeah, as you can see, OTT supersaw, and we'll be turning it into something sort of like this. So that's actually all just from using a granular synthesizer. So if you don't have one, then you can actually download the Quanta demo. This is literally, I'm only using the demo here, like this isn't even the full version. Basically you grab your Quanta, so you drag and drop the file that you want to use. This is the file that I want to use, the one that I just showed you before. And then basically you want to draw, this is how I do it, there are different ways to do this, but draw a MIDI clip of just middle C. That way that the actual MIDI information coming in is just at this pitch that you've set it as. So that sounds like this at the moment. So yeah, sounds very shit because it's literally just a square wave. So to get the actual, oh, it's not actually loaded in. So to get the actual sound of this, I'll turn the actual oscillator level down. You can leave it on if you want to play around with it, I guess, but I always turn it off. But I set the grain shape, the ADSR, to this little plucky thing, so you get this sort of sound. So that it's sort of like, yeah, like a plucky sound. I turn the width all the way up, level all the way up, and then length I make it a bit longer, put out the number of grains, and then also these randoms are like really useful. So I always put a bit of randomness in there. And then position, this is really important with the random knob. So if you turn the random knob up, you'll see that there's more granular synthesis samples covered, because basically like what this is that it's taking each samples and it's chopping it up and playing it in like a random order, I guess, in like simple terms. So if you turn the randomize up, then the more little chopped up samples that it will play. So I usually leave it on about there, and then probably randomize this a bit more. Basically all you do is, so you take these settings, you can like mess around with it, but this is how I did it for this song. And then you grab an audio track. This is in Ableton. I'm sure there are other ways that you can do this. But you grab an audio track, then you select audio in from Quanta, which is this track here, and then you basically just bounce whatever you have in here to audio. So we'll record this, and then you can do however long you want. You can actually go in here, and then when you hit record, you can go back into here, and you can change the position like throughout. So like you can sort of, and yeah, look, you can see that it actually automates it. So you basically have all these bounced out to audio tracks, and then you just line them up however you like with each other. So I'm going to do that really quickly and then come out with something. So yeah, I came up with this little idea thing here, which is basically just the chords being played but all chopped up. So this is what I got. So yeah, that's what I did, and like if I had to take another sort of chord progression or different style of chords, then I can make something like this. So this is a quick little synth line full of chords that I just made. So yeah, that's just what I made in Serum. So let's load a new Quanta up. Let's put this in there. Shitty square wave. That's like the worst sounding square wave as well. That's like such a shit sounding square wave. Anyway, that's not what matters. Turn the level up. Put the grains and the length a bit up. Randomize it a bit. So it sounds like that. Make it the plucky sound again, and then let's randomize the position. Yeah, there we go. That's sort of like the difference between the two. Like you can hear that that's a lot more choppy than the other one, which is what I prefer. Yeah, it sounds a lot more like Flume and a lot more like offbeat sort of thing. So we can bounce this audio and then I'll see what I can come up with. So this is what I came up with. So yeah, that's yeah, literally all done through here. And that little last bit sounds a bit more choppy. All I've done there is I've automated the grain length so that they're a lot shorter. So as you can hear, that's like really short. It's like quite long. So yeah, so I just automated that to go up. Just to add a bit more variation. So there definitely is a lot more that you can do with it, but this is just sort of some of the basics that are really effective still. But yeah, this is what it all sort of sounds like with some other effects like melodies, some little fills, basses, drums, and everything. This is what it sounds like, sort of with all those elements in it as well. Just a lot more interesting than just playing straight synth chords or making a massive synth stack, you know, like what a lot of people do. And it just adds like a lot of variation, and like you can definitely experiment a lot more and sort of take elements that you like and then mix them with other elements that you like. So yeah, that's sort of what you can do with it. You can definitely add like other instruments like these drums here. Definitely are helpful. They're sort of wacky. They have like a lot of random effects and stuff going on. But I mean that's sort of the point of it. But yeah, so that's sort of how to do granular synthesis.